Hello, Carol here, and I have something very scary to share with you today. I'm down in my shop where everything goes to die after I've decluttered it, and then it languishes here for a very long time till I finally get around to getting rid of it. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of everything, and if you are looking for any tips on how to get rid of your stuff, please keep watching. I am down in my shop again. This is where a lot of things end up. Building supplies, things I don't want, seasonal stuff that I'm storing down here, for the seasons. I came down here today because I wanted to get a good look at what I've got. Things I really don't want, I need to try and sell, decide what needs to be just given away, see if family or friends want anything first, and I'll go from there. Got this IKEA cabinet that I'm thinking I may just have to return, and I've got some extra cabinets there I pulled out of the apartment I just redid. I got a fridge here, it works perfectly. I've tried cleaning it out, but it's got rust on it. It's got some permanent stains and scratches and dents. The seal's kind of ripped here. But good enough for a beer fridge, so maybe I can get $50 for that. I don't know. I bought this vanity and sink thing with the intention of renovating one of my apartments. I haven't got around to doing that. Don't know if I will or not. But since that sink top is broken, I had to buy a new sink for it as well. There's another new light fixture that I didn't end up using, and some outside lights, which I have yet to use as well. So, yeah, I got still have some of my son's stuff here. Those big shelves are his. And some of my mom's things, my grandmother's things I've decided to declutter. My outside patio chairs and table. Some leftover flooring. And a door, which I don't think I want. Plus some extra little bits and pieces here and there. So I came down here to figure out what exactly I've got, what I should focus on getting rid of. I've got some brand new bar stools here, which I think I should probably get my son to put together first before I try and sell them online. And I have a few other light fixtures, which are really nice, but I'm not going to use them now. So that's that. So got my extra pieces of wood, shop vac, ceiling fan, which I was going to put up in my guest room. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, but yeah. So this is the lower level, and I'm going to go upstairs and see what I've got up there. Here I am up in my loft, just checking out what I've got. I've got my bistro table and chairs, which I am keeping for one of my units so far. Anyway, a couple of picture frames there, a couple of folding tables and folding chairs. They come in handy. That metal shelf thing I wanted to keep. The cushions are for the porch swing. This I can get rid of, the little kid's chair. That bin is filled with purses and a bunch of other stuff for yard sale. I've got this lampshade, which I didn't end up using. It's still got the tag on it. So I don't know if I'm going to end up keeping it or not. I actually do like that basket, and I'm not using it right now. The nightstand, that can go. Got a box of these organizer things for inside cabinets, so I may end up using those again. Don't know about that yet. The blue wooden chair, probably can get rid of that. Got that mirror that goes with a dresser. Oh, a little shopping cart thing. Antique stroller. Now this dresser, I kind of grew up with that, so kind of a family piece. I definitely would not keep the pink. Headboard here, and it actually has a toonie in the head of it, I'm thinking that should really be painted out, and I could probably sell that. I got some extra little bins here. Maybe I should try and sell that. I don't know. Old iron beds that came from my grandmother's, and I should probably get rid of those because I don't think we'll end up using them again. I've kept some of these cushions and towels and things. I actually don't know what. Well, some of the curtains, I guess, may or may not come in useful. I could probably sell them in a yard sale, maybe. This is kind of a sentimental tea cozy and a napkin. Mine was my mom's. Brand new pillow cases, which I never used. They're little embroidered things, and yeah, I don't know about that. The shelves, we probably can get rid of those too. I've got extra tiles, got extra blankets and comforters and area rugs, quilts, curtains. That's a big wreath holder, brand new, never used it. There's some pictures, which I could probably get rid of. This wicker coffee table, and then this little table, I could probably get rid of those. And same with the trunks. I think those are empty. Oh, what else we got here? Oh, we got some baby clothes in there. Should probably get rid of that. I got my patio area rugs here. I don't know if I need to keep them all, but I will for now. Got my chairs, metal chairs, and a little table, which I've been using for staging at times. This quilt rack is good for when I have a yard sale, when I'm hanging stuff up on. Got a little nightstand there. And I also have like those little lanterns. TV, it still works. That was Mom's. Patio chairs. This little end table, I could probably get rid of that. The coffee table that goes with that needs to be cleaned. I've got some barn board here. I've got this antique corner, what do you call that? A pie shelf. Yeah, and I got another lampshade. In those things there were my grandmother's dishes. And here I've got in this box, I've got a bunch of like stuff for yard sale. Yeah, so that's about it. I know in those little cupboards, I just stuck in some extra pieces of plumbing stuff, and I don't think anything that anybody would really want to buy. So anyway, that's it for up here. I just wanted to take a minute to have a look at this pile of stuff by my door. As you can see, there are boxes and boxes of empty wine bottles, and they have been waiting for over a year to get filled. My boyfriend has a couple of wine kits, and he just hasn't got around to doing them. So this is one area where you may have clutter building up, and that is deferred projects. You're saving something for when you have time to do something, or when you have the energy, or whether you have you think you have the resources to do something. So I think the best strategy for getting rid of this kind of clutter is to set a timeline. If you're not going to do it, get rid of it. Now, wine bottles are pretty easy to get rid of. You just take them to the recycling center, and you can get a little bit of a refund. In Ontario here, you take them to the beer store, but you may have somewhere else that you take yours. So that is just one tip here for you. Now here in this garbage can are some scrap pieces of wood and stuff. I've pulled out a few little pieces of trim and beadboard and this piece of wood, which I was thinking, that's a nice piece of wood. I could use that for something. No idea what at this time, but this is another area where clutter can build up pretty quickly if you're not careful. I mean, it's okay if you have space to save a little bit of stuff for later, but for the most part, if you do not have a clear idea in mind what you're going to use something for, best thing is to get rid of it. Now, all this stuff is going to have to go in trash because I don't think they're well, obviously they're not in good enough shape to be used for anything um, that I can think of anyway. So, yeah, so keep that in mind if you must. Absolutely keep a few things because you can't bear to think this is perfectly good. Maybe you are you do woodwork, maybe you do construction work, and you do have a need for little bits and pieces in the future, and that's fine if you've got the room for it. But if you're not doing any of that kind of work, you might as well just let it go, you know? Let it go. Now, on this table here are a lot of items that I have decluttered and not really valuable. Most of the things that are on this table, I'm thinking either I can sell in a yard sale or I may just end up donating. There's a few books that might be worth trying to take to a consignment store. And yeah, like there's, depending on what is in demand, they may or may not take those books. I also have in this box a bunch of comics, and I think the best place for this might be an auction. I might try and put those on an auction. There's a bunch of different ones in there. Yeah, so that's this table. Okay, so it's a couple days later, and I'm up in my loft here, and I just wanted to talk with you for a few minutes about sentimental clutter and fantasy life clutter. And, what do you do about that? The first thing you have to do is really get real about what you really need, what you really want. And now, a lot of these things up here, as I said earlier, were things I wanted to keep, but then I was having another look at saying, well, maybe I really don't need that. Those bed frames that were my grandmother's, the reason I hung on to them so long, I mean, I did use them for several years in one of my other houses, not the last one I was in, but the one before that. But the reason I hung on to them was because my brother and I had this fantasy that we were going to build a log cabin on some property we own up north. Well, I'm going to believe that when I see it now because, quite frankly, I don't believe it. There's always going to be something that gets in the way. Our kids are all grown up now, and they didn't have the memories tied to that property that we did when we were going to see my grandmother. So, yeah, I mean, that's a fantasy life that I'm going to have to let go of. I don't need them here. Maybe somebody else can use them. I mean, they're perfectly solid, good metal beds. They're certainly not modern, but you can paint them, you can fix them up, get mattresses that fit them, and that's all good. Now there's my mom's pink dresser, and behind it is her headboard. Now the headboard I have absolutely no sentimental attachment to. It's a good solid. I think it's pine. I think it was originally pine that she'd painted. So I don't know if I should just try and sell it pink or if I should paint it white at least, because then it would be appealing to more than just little girls. And of course, I would sell the bed frame with it too. Fantasy life. You got to get real with yourself about that. And another fantasy of mine was doing home staging. Now, I have done a little bit with when I've been doing renovations with properties I've had for sale, but I don't do it for other people. I mean, I'd love to, but I haven't really looked into how to establish a business doing that. Usually, real estate agents provide that service for their customers in this area anyway. So maybe in the big city areas, it'd be a lot easier to do something like that on your own. But there's that to consider. So, maybe some of these things I've been hanging on to for that reason, I should be getting rid of too because it's a fantasy. Those big trunks over there, I don't need them. Will I ever need them? I don't know. I don't know. They're empty. um, yeah. But they're sentimental. That's why I've kept them. So yeah. And then you have, things that you just hung on to because you've had them forever, and well, they're still good, but you could use them for this and you can use them for that. But well, anyway, I'm rambling here. Well, thanks for watching. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Would love to see you again. And if you have any suggestions or tips for people to get rid of their stuff, please comment below. See you in the next one.